And so if you were to ask me, say schedule, I have $179, I have 64,000 naira, should I buy the Infinix S4 right now? My answer to you would probably be what's up, tribe? Schedule here back again with another video for you guys, and this is the Infinix S4 smartphone. And in this video I'm going to be doing an unboxing and impressions of this device and providing you guys with the necessary information you need to know about this smartphone. The Infinix S4 is actually a predecessor to the Infinix S5 that came out a couple of weeks ago, but I just got this device on my hand. I know it has been out since like May this year, but like I said, I just got this device on my hand and it is better late than never to make a video about it. So let's dive right into the number one important stuff about this unboxing video: what comes in the box of this phone. Now in this box, you actually get the smartphone itself, a charging cable and a charging brick, a plastic case which is like the jacket that my phone is currently rocking right now, and a pair of headphones. So now that we know what comes in the box of this phone, let's take a quick rundown on the spec sheet of this device. Now this Infinix S4 that I have with me right now is a 6 gigs of RAM and 64 gig internal storage version. It has a 4000 mAh battery, a 32 megapixel selfie camera, and 3 rear cameras that are 13, 8, and 2 megapixels respectively. It also has an Octa-Core 2.06 GHz CPU, a 6.2-inch 720p LCD display, and it runs on Android 9 Pie. Now that's like the quick spec rundown of this device, but I do not believe you guys came here to hear me list out specs of this phone. I mean, if you wanted to know about the specs of this device, you would have just gone to Google and Googled that for yourself. I believe you guys came here to find out how well this phone performs in real life, because most of the time there's always a difference, a huge difference sometimes, between real world usage and specs written down on a piece of paper. So let's push the specs to a side for a bit and talk about how well this phone performs in real life. Let's start off with the cameras. Now the Infinix S4 has 4 cameras. Like I mentioned earlier, it has a 32 megapixel selfie camera and 3 rear cameras which are 13, 8, and 2 megapixels respectively. Now the 32 megapixel selfie camera is actually the best camera in terms of megapixels on this phone, and that just makes me imply that Infinix made this phone for the selfie takers out there. The selfies that this camera actually takes are actually really good. I mean, the pictures are crisp and sharp, and in really good lighting conditions you can get a really good looking selfie. The rear camera is also 13, 8, and 2 megapixels actually produce some really good picture qualities. I mean, the video recording is crisp and sharp, and the pictures are also crisp and sharp in really good lighting conditions. So overall, in really good lighting conditions where you have the sun shining down on your beautiful face, this camera will work really well. The downside to the Infinix S4 cameras, however, are terrible nighttime photography qualities. I mean, like I said earlier, these cameras take really good pictures in good lighting where you have really good sunlight, but at night where everywhere is practically dark, the pictures that this phone takes are not so great. So if you're the kind of person that goes out at night a lot to hang out with friends and all that kind of stuff, and needs a phone that can take really good pictures during the day and also really good pictures at night, the Infinix S4 might not be what you're looking for, because the nighttime photo and video capabilities of this phone are not good at all. Now the Infinix S4 actually comes with a 4000 mAh battery, and I get about 18 hours of battery life and 6 to 7 hours of on-screen time on this device. Now I'm actually not a heavy gamer or a heavy phone user like a lot of you guys are, and that just means I do not play Call of Duty, PES, and all these things on my phone most of the time. So this 18 hours of battery life that I actually get is from using Twitter, browsing the internet, and watching a couple of videos here and there. So obviously, if you're the type of person that uses your phone really heavily, the battery life that you get on this device will obviously vary. Now the Infinix S4 actually has a 6.2-inch 720p display with a dew-drop notch up top. And a 720p display is just a HD display. It is not 1080p full HD. I actually wish it was a full HD display, but having a 720p display on your phone is not the end of the world. The dew-drop notch, however, on top of the screen is one of the things I do not like about this phone. And it's not just because Infinix did it. I actually do not like the dew-drop implementation of cutout cameras, notches on phones. And this is just a personal thing. I rather have a phone with a chain and a forehead than have a cut out dewdrop notch. But one thing that Infinix actually did is that if you're a guy like me that doesn't like the dewdrop notch, you can just go into the settings menu and cover it up using software. The fact that Infinix included this feature is really amazing and makes me even love this phone a bit more. One last thing about the display though is 720p, which means that if I have a phone like the Samsung Galaxy A50 in my pocket and the Infinix S4 and I'm about to watch a YouTube video, I'd rather watch the YouTube video on the A50 and not the Infinix S4, just because the display on the A50, the Samsung Galaxy A50, is a lot better. But like I said, generally the display on this device is not bad, and a 720p HD display is not, like I said, the end of the world. Now that we've got the display out of the way, let's talk a little bit about software. This phone runs on Android 9 Pie and also the latest and greatest Infinix XOS. Now, as regards the Android version, I do not know if to be able to get an upgrade to like Android 10, and I honestly doubt that, considering the fact that it's not a Samsung or a Nokia device. But Android 9 is actually pretty good. It has some really nice quirks and features, and it is something that I believe you guys, if you are not already using it, will really enjoy. Now, speaking of the newest XOS updates, this is by far my favorite feature on the Infinix S4. The icons on the new XOS are so good. I mean, one of the things I really hated about Infinix phones before was that the icons and how the phone looked, the UI in general, did not look great at all. But Infinix has finally listened to us and improved the user interface and the icons on this device. The Infinix S4 now looks like something that I can actually pull out and use in public. It looks absolutely amazing. Thank you guys at Infinix for listening to us and working on the user interface and icons on this phone. But now, for a really serious performance test, this phone, like I said, comes with an octa-core CPU, a 2.06 GHz, blah blah blah. But in order to really work the performance of this phone, I had to put it to the test. So the thing you need to note about the performance of this phone, at least from what I observed, is that if you are playing or handling really heavy tasks, if you're playing games like Asphalt 8, PES, Call of Duty and all that stuff, this phone might start to lag a bit. But if you are doing really petty stuff, playing games like Rolling Vortex and all other one-handed arcade games, and doing stuff on your phone generally that do not require so much heavy usage, the phone will work pretty well. Now, before I forget, the phone actually has a fingerprint sensor and a Face ID unlock feature. The fingerprint sensor is really fast and snappy, and is easily one of my favorite ways to unlock this phone. But the Face ID, however, is not all that accurate. Sometimes it takes me like 2 or 3 tries to unlock the phone, and sometimes I even give up and just use the fingerprint sensor to unlock the phone instead. So the fingerprint is really good, but the Face ID is not so reliable. So if you were to ask me right now, schedule I have $179, schedule I have 64,000 naira, should I buy the Infinix S4 smartphone right now? My answer to you will probably be a very big yes. Although the Infinix S4 doesn't tick all the boxes of a perfect smartphone like I mentioned earlier in one of my previous videos, the Infinix S4 is actually a really good phone. I mean, it is not a great phone, it is just a really good phone. And that's it. Let me know what you guys think about the Infinix S4 in the comment section below. Your comments are like the oxygen of my video, so even if you're not saying anything meaningful, just drop a hi or whatever comments. I would love to see or hear what you guys have to say about this phone, or generally just drop a hi like I said. Like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to my channel. I have a lot of crazy good content coming your way. Also follow me on Instagram and on Twitter at TechTribe. Links will be in the description below, and I will see you guys next week Friday as always in another video.